All right, guys, it's Jimmy Maverick. How you doing out there? We are going to do another best ball draft today, this time picking from the 8th position. It is a tournament, and I'm going to stick to my rules, right? Here it is. First 7 picks, I want 5 wide receivers, and I want 5 wide receiver ones if I can get them. I then want to get 3 quarterbacks, the 3 quarterbacks that go with my top 3 wide receivers. So I have them all paired together. I want between 3 and 5 players stacked with my quarterbacks. So at least at a minimum, they're wide receiver 1, but then also some other players later. We'll see how that falls to me. Like I said, those are the big rules that I try to follow here. I think it went pretty well, and I used my draft tool, 16 Rounds Plus, which has a special best ball mode to help you in these best ball drafts. I encourage you to go to the website, check it out, go to 16roundsplus.com, and hey, let's just get to it right now. Let's do it. All right there, everybody. We are going to do a best ball tournament right now, and we are going to use the app 16 Rounds Plus to help us pick players. Looks like I'm picking from the 8th position today, so I'm going to set up the app. I got the app on the right-hand side of the screen here, and let me just get this set up with the draft board so you guys can see that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the queue list off to my side. So I'll be talking about players, and as I'm talking about them, I'm going to be adding them to my queue. So let's set up the app. So you just go to 16roundsplus.com, you sign in. It asks you, how does your league score points? This is a best ball, so we're going to choose the best ball option. Do you want to engage the counselor's recommended player filters? We're going to say no. We want to see all the players. And then do you want to enter draft mode? Yes, we're going to do 12 team, pick 8. Let's go ahead and enter draft mode. And what that does is it breaks down the top 250 list based on the size of your league, your draft position, and then in each round, you've got a pod of players that we're looking at. So pod 1 is basically all the players between pick 1 and pick 2 with a little bit of overlap. But instead of being sorted by their draft position, the players are sorted by their Cuddy score. Cuddy stands for consistency, upside, durability, depth chart, and youth. And they score points on those criteria. Those points are added up. That gives you a Cuddy score. Cuddy score is out of 100 points, although sometimes they can go over that in certain situations. But you can see here, Bijan Robinson is the top option with 99 Cuddy points, but he has this little gun next to him, which means that he is a long shot to make it to us. So if he makes it, we would take him. Otherwise, our options would be Jahmyr Gibbs, A.J. Brown, and Garrett Wilson. So you can see here, Jahmyr Gibbs scores very well. Amon-Ra is also a long shot. So if he was to make it to us, that would definitely be a pick. A.J. Brown would be the top most likely wide receiver that would make it to us. And if we did, again, we're going based on our rules that we wanted to pair up all of our wide receivers, our top wide receivers with their quarterback. Okay, Amon-Ra's off the board. Let's see what happens here, because this is going to kind of determine how I want to go in this first round. Breece Hall was taken, so Bijan is there. So Bijan, top-rated player. I'm going to take him, potentially a legendary upside running back. And we are going to take 5 wide receivers in the first 7 picks. So that means that this is our hero RB. We're going to go with him, and then we're going to see who we can get for round 2, what wide receivers would be available. There we go. Hold on. It just went to round 3. Round 2. Mike Evans, Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers. You can see Chris Olave is a long shot. Drake London is a long shot. If either of those guys make it to me, I would definitely take them. We've also got we got Derrick Henry here, very highly rated. Mike Evans is the top rated player, most likely to make it to us. But let's see what happens here. I definitely want to get a wide receiver. It's always hard to pass on these elite wide receivers the first round, because they're such a huge tier drop off after Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson, A.J. Brown's kind of like the line. Puka Nacua, although I think he's very good, I think he is a regression player this year, so that's not always a great option for your team. But Drake London's already off the board. Olave is still there. It's going to be very close if he makes it to us. Again, he's a long shot. Marvin Harrison goes. I don't really like Marvin Harrison. I think he's too expensive for what his upside represents as a rookie. People are pricing him basically to be a 1,400-yard, 10-touchdown player. I just don't think he can get there. Neither does Las Vegas. Okay, Nico Collins wins. Okay, great. So Olave did make it to us. And that means that Derek Carr is going to be one of our targeted quarterbacks. And the good news is that we can get Derek Carr very late in the draft. So that's excellent for that. So let's move on to the third round. And the third round, you can see here, we've got Isaiah. It's recommending Isaiah Pacheco, Josh Allen, Travis Kelce. Those are all nice options. You know, if I took Kelce, I could pair him with Mahomes in the fourth, probably. But again, I don't like to do that because that would mean that in the first 7 picks, I'd be taking 3 non-wide receivers. I don't want to do that. Now, the highest rated wide receiver on this round is Zay Flowers. And Zay Flowers would be a great pairing with Lamar Jackson, who I could get in the fourth. So that is definitely an option. And I do like the upside of Zay Flowers. Other wide receivers, we just use the wide receiver filter here. Pittman's a long shot. Then there's George Pickens, who we could pair with Russell Wilson. DK Metcalf, who is a long shot. But then you got some guys that it doesn't recommend. DJ Moore, Stephon Diggs. Tank Dell's listed as a risky pick. Cooper Kupp, risky pick. We don't really want those guys. So we're going to focus on one of these 4. I think Zay would be the best because I do like to pair an elite rushing quarterback with their wide receiver 1. So that is certainly an option. We'll see if Josh Allen makes it to us as well. I don't know if that's really going to happen here. It says here, where is Josh Allen? Typically going at around pick 35. So it says he should make it to us. I don't know how realistic that is. It's very close. But, if he's available, then we could also get Keon Coleman later. That would also work. But I kind of like the idea of going Zay Flowers, Lamar Jackson. And the goal is that our top 3 wide receivers we want paired with their quarterback. And by doing that, that's going to give us basically, because I always go 3 quarterbacks. You can go 2 if you want, but I always go 3. Look at all the wide receivers coming off the board. There's just so many. Jeez, man. I mean, it's like this every single draft. But Pittman's still there. Flowers is still there. Looks like Malik just went off again. Malik, very expensive here. I just don't like him this early. Now, this guy got him as a flex. That's pretty good. That's how I like him. I would like him as my 3rd wide receiver if I can get it. Pittman came off the board. That's not surprising. He was a long shot anyway. But it looks like this may work. Cooper Kupp, Tank Dell. Cooper Kupp just went off the board. Zay Flowers is still there. I'm going to go for Zay. And so that's a pretty good 1-2 with my wide receivers. Again, it's a little bit of a step down from if I had taken Garrett Wilson or A.J. Brown, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with this build. And if we go to the 4th round here, who's it recommending? 4th round, Josh Jacobs, Travis Etienne, Patrick Mahomes. For quarterbacks, it is telling me that Lamar Jackson this is where I have to take Lamar Jackson. He will not make it to the next pick. So you could see here, look, good running backs available in the 3rd round. I do like the 3rd round for running backs. Getting a Kyren Williams or a Derrick Henry or a Travis Etienne, very good. Josh Allen just came off the board. That's not surprising. We knew he was going to be, this is the round you needed to take him, was the 3rd round. But I do think we are going to go with Lamar. I see Sam Laporta, Travis Kelce are still there. Again, if I take Kelce, there's no way I can get Mahomes now. It's not going to work, right? I can't get the stack. So I'm not really interested in that. Pickens is still there. Cooper is still there. I'm a little bit less than thrilled with Amari Cooper. I mean, I like Amari Cooper, but I just don't like the quarterback situation. I don't like Deshaun Watson. I don't want to take him as a quarterback. So I've been kind of staying away from Amari Cooper, given that I'm trying to stack all my top wide receivers with their quarterback. Look at Isaiah Pacheco in the 4th round. That's just fantastic. I mean, my God, such good deals for running backs in the 3rd and 4th round. You can wait on those guys if you want. Of course, I went for the upside. I went for the Kingmaker, Bijan. We'll see if that works out to my favor. Okay, so look, all these guys are on the board. Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. None of these guys are going to make it back to me, all right? So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to stack Zay with Lamar. And I'm going to try to get probably one more Baltimore Raven later. So we'll work on that. We'll see what happens. But if we go to round 5, it's recommending Joe Mixon, Rashad White, and C.J. Stroud. Obviously, we don't need a quarterback now. We've already got our quarterback. We do need to continue to focus on wide receivers. You can see here that Calvin Ridley is a long shot for us, but if he makes it, I would definitely take him. That would allow me to get Will Levis later, and that's kind of what we want to do. It also has Xavier Worthy, which, again, we can't get. Mahomes will not be there. We're not going to get Mahomes. So that's a little bit less desirable. We got Chris Godwin as a risky pick, Terry McLaurin, Marquise Brown, Keenan Allen. Again, McLaurin, if you're taking Anthony Richardson, McLaurin I think is a good choice, but he's a long shot anyway. I don't like Marquise Brown. Keenan Allen could be good, but I really don't want Caleb. I don't want a rookie quarterback. Even as my QB2, it's not such a bad choice. Rashee Rice. Not really great choices here for wide receivers in this round. I'm going to look at who else is right around this period. We got Jaden Reed. That would be a real good choice. Let's see here. I'm going to just put Keenan Allen on my queue just because. And then after we got Godwin, Rice, Worthy, Rome Odunze, DeAndre Hopkins. See, none of these guys are really that great. Boy, this is part of the problem of going with that running back in the first round, is because you get into this situation where it's just not great wide receivers still being available. But we'll see who makes it back to us. So look at this. Jalen Hurts fell to the 5th round. That's amazing. That's an amazing deal there. That's really good. And he got it paired with Devonta Smith. That's smart, right? That's what you want. The guy that took Josh Allen, he doesn't have any pairings yet, so we'll see what happens. Okay, looks like people are starting to move away from wide receiver. This could work to my advantage here. 2 picks to me. Jaden Reed is still on the board, and I can actually look at Reed. I'm going to restore him to the list. Where is Reed? Reed's right at the top. So if Reed makes it, I'm definitely going to take him. Terry McLaurin is still on the board too, but Anthony Richardson just went. So, that's kind of a moot point. Okay, so he made it. Fantastic. So I'm going to take Reed. And that means I'm going to try to get his quarterback later. We'll see how that goes. Let's go to round 6. We still want to focus on wide receivers. There's some good ones here. We got Deontay Johnson. We've got Brian Thomas Jr. We've got Keon Coleman and Ladd McConkey. You like all those guys. Keon Coleman, good options there. You can see Chris Godwin, he's already gone. He was a long shot anyway. Jordan Addison is also a risky pick here. Xavier Worthy rates well. I'm going to put Jordan Addison on my list. Where is he? Jordan Addison is right there. We'll see if, some of these guys might fall to the next round. The no-goes, Rome Odunze, Rashee Rice, DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Watson, all those guys have issues. Look at that. C.J. Stroud in the 6th round. That's really good. Patrick Mahomes in the 5th round. That's fantastic. I feel like I could have waited and taken Lamar Jackson in round 5, but I didn't want to risk it, right? I needed to get the stack. I needed to make sure I got that. For quarterbacks this round, it is just round 6, C.J. Stroud. Let's see here. So Deontay Johnson just went off the board. Terry McLaurin just went off. So there's a bunch of rookies, right? I can grab the rookies. So I think I'm going to grab my favorite, Ladd McConkey, and this will allow us to target Justin Herbert if I wanted to go that. If I miss on Love, I can go for Herbert as well. So I'm giving myself stack options here. Everybody is still stackable that I've taken. And let's move to the 7th round. This is the final round that we want to take wide receivers. So Cortland Sutton, that's certainly a decent choice. Jackson Smith and Jigba is a risky pick, but could be worth it. We'll see what happens. And let's just look at the quarterbacks for the 7th round. Dak and Kyler, okay, we're great. We don't have to worry about these other stacks. But if we look to the 8th round quarterbacks, that's when we would want to take Jordan Love, right? If we want to stack Jaden Reed and Jordan Love. And that would be a good stack. Jordan Love would be good to stack later also with other players. Jane Daniels, Dak Prescott, Kyler Murray, Joe Burrow. So, and you can see Prescott and Murray are long shots for the 8th round. But if I wanted Jordan Love, that's when I would take him. I would probably want to pivot away, though, and maybe get a tight end in the 8th round or a running back. That's kind of what I'm looking at. So 8th round running backs, would be like Tyjae Spears. Zach Moss is a long shot. Devin Singletary. There's some decent options here. Tight ends, Brock Bowers. That's a decent option too for a tight end. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. But I am continuing to look at the wide receivers. All the rookies are still on the board with 5 picks to me. Brian Thomas, Jordan Addison, Cortland Sutton, Jackson Smith, and Jigba are all guys that are available here. Romo Dunze still on the board. Jameson Williams, Curtis Samuel. Those are guys that I'm not really interested in. Josh Palmer, not really interested in. Tyler Lockett is a player I'm interested in, but he's someone that I can probably get in the 8th or 9th round. That's typically what I'm seeing where he's going. But this looks good. Okay, so I think I can get one of these guys. Jordan Addison is not a great option because the quarterback situation is not settled. I think Sutton, Smith and Jigba would both be good. Maybe I will take Jordan Addison here because I don't really need to worry about that. I've already got other quarterback options here that I'm going to be stacking. So let's just go. Romo Dunze still there, but I'm going to take Addison again. Second-year player. There's some second-year upside. And that finishes my 5 wide receivers in the first 7 rounds. So that's basically how the app works. You just kind of follow it around, round to round. It makes recommendations. It gives you options, and you can look at the different positions here as far as who are the highest-rated players in each round. It's very easy to use. Very user-friendly. I'm going to follow up, let you know what quarterbacks I was able to stack, what stacks I was able to get when we're done here. So I'll be right back. Okay, sorry, the player list just went away from me. So I ended up, I got Lamar Jackson. I got him paired with Zay Flowers. I got Justin Herbert, and I got him in the 11th round. So I have him paired with Ladd McConkey. I also got Gus Edwards, and I took Hayden Hurst with my last pick. As he is a tight end on the Chargers. I like him better than Disley. So anyway, I got a triple stack there. And then I grabbed Derek Carr in the 16th round. So I was able to pair him up with Chris Olave, which is exactly what I wanted. So I have 5 stacked players with my quarterbacks, and all my wide receiver ones got stacked. Now, I was thinking about making a play for Jordan Love. But unfortunately, he went right before my pick. Plus, it would have crowded out another a spot that I felt was really critical for getting either a tight end or a running back. I ended up getting Jake Ferguson instead after Herbert was off the board. I'm actually kind of glad that happened. Not Herbert, I'm sorry, Love. After Love was off the board, I was able to get Jake Ferguson in the 8th round. That was really nice value there as well. So anyway, overall, a very good draft here. I'm very happy with this. Lots of stacks. Again, the positive correlation between, if your quarterback has a big day, chances are his wide receiver one also had a big day. So that's what I'm banking on here, is that on any given week, I got a 10% shot because I got 3 quarterbacks with their wide receiver ones, a 10% shot that one of those guys will go off because there's only 32 teams in the NFL. I got 3 of them. So that's pretty good. So that should help me with advance rates on this as well. This is a tournament it is a 1 entry tournament. I can't enter any more on this one. So we'll see how it goes, but overall, pretty good draft. So let me know what you guys think. Did I make any mistakes where there's something that you're like, oh, you should have taken this player instead? Let's talk about it. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Have yourself a great day.